Have you ever walked through a city and felt like you were in two different time periods at once? Well, that's Montpellier, in the south of France. Walking through its streets is like time traveling through a thousand-year-old story told in stone, sunlight, and steel. So, let's get into it.
Okay, so picture this. On one hand, you've got the Cathédrale Saint-Pierre. I mean, look at it. It's a massive Gothic fortress built back in the 14th century. It's all about defense and faith and strength. Then you take a quick 15-minute stroll and bam, you're staring up at the Arbor Blanc, the white tree. A 21st century apartment building that looks like it's literally growing, with balconies reaching out like branches.
So, that's the big question, isn't it? How can one single city be home to these two completely different worlds? Is it a city with a split personality, or is there something deeper connecting everything?
All right, let's start digging. To figure this out, we need to become architectural detectives. We're going to have to go back in time to find the clues.
Our investigation starts in the Middle Ages. Here's what's interesting right off the bat. Unlike a lot of famous French cities, Montpellier has no Roman roots. It was forged from scratch by trade, by scholars, and by the very real need for protection. The medieval heart of the city is called the Écusson, and if you've ever walked through it, you know it feels like a total maze. But here's the thing. There's a brilliant logic to all that medieval madness. The design was just incredibly clever. First, you keep the streets narrow. Why? To create shade from that blazing Mediterranean sun. Makes sense. Second, you make them winding and confusing. That's a defense tactic. It's really hard for an invading army to charge through a labyrinth. And third, you build up, not out, using that gorgeous local limestone which saves space and gives the city its signature golden color. It was all about function shaping the form. And three structures really define this whole era. You had the university, founded way back in 1220, which turned Montpellier into a European hub for medicine, attracting brains and money. You had the Cathédrale Saint-Pierre, with that fortress-like entrance that was a huge statement of both faith and power. And then you have the Tour de la Baboute, a piece of the old city walls that's still standing, reminding you this was once a city built for defense. Okay, let's jump forward a few centuries. Now, the whole mindset starts to shift. Defense isn't the main goal anymore. It's all about royal power, classical order, and the city finally breaking free of its medieval walls. This quote pretty much sums it up perfectly. The focus is no longer on hiding and protecting. Now it's about opening up the city and impressing everyone who sees it. It's a total 180. I mean, the change in thinking is just wild. Medieval logic was about protection, defensive, shady, and intimate. Classical logic was all about projecting power, grand, open, and perfectly ordered. The city went from being a place to hide in to a grand stage for showing off. And two massive projects really showcase this new attitude. First, the Porte du Pérou, a classic triumphal arch built to honor King Louis XIV, a pure, in-your-face statement of royal pride. And second, the Aqueduc Saint-Clément, a stunning aqueduct inspired by Roman engineering that was both beautiful and practical, bringing fresh water to the growing city. On to the next chapter. Now we're roaring into the 19th and 20th centuries. The Industrial Revolution shows up, bringing with it railways, new materials like concrete, and a heavy dose of Parisian style that starts to change the city's look yet again. You can see how quickly things started to evolve. The 1800s bring those grand Haussmann-style buildings with their iron balconies. Then, after World War II, the priority is just building homes fast. So you get these plain, functional concrete blocks. But then, in the 1980s, something totally different happens. The city makes a bold, conscious decision to stop just growing randomly and to start actively designing its own future. And this is where things get really fun. This is where Montpellier turns itself into a living, breathing laboratory for modern architecture. The first huge experiment is the Antigone district. The architect Ricardo Bofill does something amazing. He takes classical ideas like grand plazas and columns, and he builds them on a massive scale using modern concrete. It's a powerful nod to history, but it's also something completely new. Then there's the Hôtel de Ville, the city hall. I mean, wow. It looks like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. That giant frame and those bright blue colors are designed to symbolize transparency and a forward-thinking government. It's a civic building that looks like it landed from another planet. And that brings us right back to the Arbor Blanc, the white tree. This isn't just a building, it's a statement.
The balconies are designed to look like branches reaching out for sunlight, encouraging the outdoor lifestyle that's so important in the Mediterranean. It's the ultimate expression of this new, imaginative era. So, after this 1,000-year journey, we can finally solve our puzzle. Turns out, Montpellier's identity isn't a contradiction at all. It's a conversation between the past and the future.
Each era simply added a new layer to the story. The medieval cathedral represents faith and strength. The classical arch represents royal pride. And the modern Arbor Blanc represents pure imagination. They don't cancel each other out, they build on top of each other. And through it all, three key forces have been at play. The climate, which demanded smart design. The university, which has always supplied a young, energetic population that's open to bold ideas. And finally, vision, the city's conscious choice to protect its past while fearlessly experimenting with its future. And that's really the most important takeaway. Montpellier's incredible blend of old and new is not an accident of history. It is a choice that offers a powerful lesson. Honoring the past doesn't mean you have to be trapped by it. You can remember your roots while you build a fearless future. Which leaves us with one last thought. The story of Montpellier shows us that great cities are never really finished. So if this city has already gone from stone fortresses to living trees, what on earth is it going to build next?